So, hello there everyone, and welcome. It is Aniran here, and today it is time for yet another FIFA 20 career mode experiment. And you know what? I've always personally thought that in the world of football, it's good. It's an alright sport, you get me? But equally, I've always found goalkeepers moderately overrated as a concept. So, with that in mind, we are going to be seeing what would happen in the world of FIFA 20 career mode if goalkeepers just simply didn't exist. Every shot stopper in the world has decided, you know what, I'm wasted here, innit? This sport is called football. I'm meant to use my hands. It's just not gonna work out. They've gone off and they're gonna go and play flipping rugby, I don't know, squash. They use their hands and arms in squash so they can go and play that instead. We have been left with a world of football without them. I mean, I say that, they're still here, but they might as well not be. And you'll understand when we go into the squad hub. As you can see, Alisson, Camille Grabara, Loris Karius, Andy Lonergan, the man, the myth, the legend, Kaleha, I'm not gonna say his first name because I really can't remember how to pronounce it, Adrian, and etc. are all still here, and they all still have their normal overall. Saniran, where's the catch? I mean, I'll tell you where the catch is. If we go to their attributes, all their values are 15k, apart from Lonergan and Adrian, who are exceptionally terrible, and you'll see that's because, well, all their goalkeeping stats are 1. Every single goalkeeper in FIFA is 1 overall, but not just that, every single player on the game. There's not like teams can just choose their best outfielder in terms of goalkeeping, like Phil Jagielka, for example, when in goal once, has good goalkeeping stats compared to other outfielders. He will have 1 goalkeeping attributes as well. Like, every single player has just sacked off the ability to do any sort of goalkeeping. So will we end up with a league where goals are just going in constantly because nobody can keep a clean sheet? Will we see goals records being broken by teams during the course of the season? Will we see different teams becoming world powerhouses in the world of football? Because as much as I've removed pretty much every goalkeeper on the game right now, there are going to be goalkeepers coming in as regens who are actually decent. But if you do go on to enjoy the video, then slap a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video and it massively helps me out. Alright, the overalls have changed and somehow Alisson has frauded 13. I know he's got 52 speed, but that's not gonna help him when he can't dive, handle, kick, reflect. No, that's not really the current tense of reflexes. Or position himself. I don't care what his speed is, he is useless. Adrian is still 76, but realistically, he's a lot lower than that. Kaleha is 9, but he's gone up on his handling and positioning to 2. Now, the first game of the season is the Community Shield against Manchester City. We're doing this experiment with Liverpool, so we're going to have to see what the sim says. Alisson is in goal. He's technically registered as 13 overall right now, but he's 1 on every single goalkeeping attribute. How will we fare against Man City? It's only 2-1. That is extremely disappointing. All of you could shoot from literally anywhere and you'd score, and you've only scored 3 times between you. Gonna have to alter that result real quick just to make sure the thumbnail looks good. Now, Norwich concede regularly at the best of times. They're now facing a Liverpool side with the best attack in the league, and they have a 1 overall goalkeeper. The teams are still playing their goalkeepers in goal because it makes absolutely no difference. Every single player on the game has 1 in terms of their goalkeeping attributes. There's no point putting an outfielder in goal. You might as well just stick with Tim Krul. He's shipped 5, however, which is not ideal. We have kept a clean sheet. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it would take a lot longer than just 2 games to get a clean sheet in this. So we've completed 1 month. We're at the end of August, and as you can see, the table isn't looking massively different. We've got Liverpool, City, Chelsea, and United occupying the top 4, ahead of West Ham, Spurs, Watford, and Crystal Palace. Arsenal are down in P14, which is pretty realistic in my eyes. If we look at the right-hand side, there's not a massive difference in terms of, like, who's winning games, but there's barely any clean sheets. 10 games in now, Manchester City are taking the lead at the top of the table, but only on goal difference over ourselves, Spurs, Chelsea, and then West Ham. How have we only conceded, what, 10 goals this season with Alisson in goal? All he has is 50 speed. That's it. There's no other goalkeeping attributes even there. Andy Lonergan is 9, fam. 9 overall. How can you be content when your overall is in single figures? Kaleha is 10. His balance is all the way up to a 51. I mean, that's phenomenal, but his goalkeeping reflexes are 2. You could throw the ball at him at the start of the game and he wouldn't react till the 64th minute. Thanks for showing faith in me, boss, despite me not being one of the top players at the club. Adriel San Miguel Castillo, you're literally the worst player at the club. You may not be surprised to know that not a single goalkeeper has been bought or sold during the course of this career mode save so far. We've now slapped up Southampton. It's still goals galore in the Premier League. There were 3 5-goal thrillers in a row in March, followed by a game with 6 goals in it. Was a single clean sheet kept? Yes, West Ham got one. Props to you. We've scored 107 points in the league and we haven't won the league. We've got a manager rating of 61. Listen, anyway, that's not the point. City have won the league by a point with a goal difference of plus 99. We have a goal difference of 105. We scored 142 goals in one season. That is outlandish. There's definitely more goals. Like, any game basically that was usually 1-0 is now 3-2, it would seem. Your Ligue 1 champions are unsurprisingly Paris Saint-Germain, winning all but 2 games in the season. The Bundesliga was won by Bayern, unbeaten on 96 points ahead of Dortmund and Leverkusen. Over in Italy, Piemonte Calcio won all but 1 game on the way to the title ahead of Inter and AC Milan. And finally in Spain, Barcelona are La Liga champions ahead of Real Madrid, Valencia and Atletico. I can confirm Adrian is now 9 overall, which is not ideal. Grabara is now an established ball handler with 8 as a rating. For anyone wondering about the stats as well, the more goals means incredible tallies in terms of the Golden Boot race. Raheem Sterling scored 37 in 36 games. Flip those numbers round and you get Sadio Mane's record. Sebastian Haller with 32, Salah with 31, Aguero and Kane both with 30. Meanwhile, the most clean sheets goes to Edison, but with only 8 across 34 games. Then it's Lloris with 6. Those were the only 2 goalkeepers in the whole league to get more than 4 clean sheets this season. Good news, lads. Alisson's all the way up at a lofty 15 overall. There is not a single promising goalkeeper on the whole game. That is concerning. Now, if I'm being completely real with you, I wasn't necessarily expecting this league table in Season 2. Your Premier League champions, having won 37 games out of 38, are Crystal Palace FC. 112 points across the season, with West Brom newly promoted from the Championship with 106. Down at the bottom, Norwich, Bristol City and Leeds go down. Leeds with a goal difference of minus 103. So why are Crystal Palace good then? We need to get to the bottom of this. And the reason is because they loaned in 2 goalkeepers, one from St Mirren, who is literally 42 overall, and one from Empoli, who is literally 55 overall. The bar is so astonishingly low that bringing in these 2 players on loan has won them the Premier League. The FA Cup was won by Crystal Palace 4-0 in the final over Wigan Athletic, and they also took home the Carabao Cup, beating Rotherham United in the final. Your Champions League winners are Real Madrid. They defeated Turkish opposition in the form of Fenerbahce in the final, whilst in the Europa League, Lazio beat rivals Roma 4-0. Season 3 is now done, and it's a similar result in the sense that Crystal Palace have once again taken the Premier League title with 37 wins in 38 games. This team is ridiculous, and it's because they seem to be the only team that's worked out what's actually going on here. I know we said earlier on that, you know, goalkeepers weren't really gonna be a thing anymore, but Crystal Palace have gone against the grain and decided that in actuality it is quite useful to have a goalkeeper from time to time. The FA Cup was won by Birmingham City, the only team to topple Crystal Palace's reign, so they must be very good indeed. Whilst Fulham won the Carabao Cup, defeating Doncaster Rovers 1-0 in the final. Over in the Champions League, European winners are Lazio over Ajax, and the Europa League winners are Roma at the second time of asking. They beat Porto 1-0 in the final. It just wouldn't be one of these videos if it wasn't for this, would it? Why did we even think that this wouldn't happen? Final season that we're going to sim in this video video is done, and Palace once again have won the league, only with 110 points though this season, ahead of West Brom again, this time in second, Norwich third, and Fulham completing a very odd Champions League spot. The FA Cup was won by Birmingham again, beating West Midlands rivals West Brom in the final. The Carabao Cup victors are Crystal Palace, they beat Fulham 3-1. Then over in the Champions League, Lazio beat Roma 1-0. That happened earlier on in the Europa League, now it's happened in the Champions League. And in the Europa League, Belgian side Genk win it over AC Milan. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to wrap up today's video, showing you what would happen if goalkeepers just pretty much simply didn't exist in FIFA 20 career mode. If you've enjoyed the video though, slap a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's the big red button under the video and it massively helps me out. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @theofficialfng on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.